Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. It's time for a craft-along, an award-winning craft-along, no less. Craft-along, of course, is where we take a couple of hours and all create something fabulous in real time, which is amazing. And it is the saying dies that we're going to be looking at today. I'll take you through those in just a few moments, but not before I introduce you to our teacher for the day. It's the lovely Debby Robinson. She's excited, I can sense it.
Oh, absolutely. I love Craft Along. I love our award-winning Craft Along. Can I just tell you, Joe? Because it's where I feel in my real happy place. Did a little bit of teaching. It's what I've loved doing for years. And I love making different things and something a little bit different. And then they give you an item to use and you've got to think of a different way to use it. I love them. I absolutely love them. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I'm trying to remember the name of this fold that I did, and I thought I'd written it down on my very scribbled pieces of instructions there. But I've completely forgot what I call it because it's like a little bit of a four-fold this. So we've got a little belly band that we're just going to take off. And that's just to hold the card together because it's like a four-fold in a lovely base there. Again, I'm not going to lay claim to this design because it's something that I found on the internet, as you do. But I just wanted to do my own little tweak on it. And of course, you've got these absolutely beautiful sayings, the just saying sentiments there, the beautiful dies, which are just fabulous. So this is the card that we're going to do, but I wanted to add my own little bit of something a little bit different because it looks beautiful when you wrap it all up, or let's tuck the flaps in the right direction this time. But let's just open it up because I wanted to do something else with it as well. So I've made it into a little bit of a shaker for each card too. So you've got the shaker, but this time the shaker on the inside, Joe, on the inside.
Nice.
But it does stand, and it's still a mantelpiece pleaser where you can stand your lovely design. Let's get it in the right direction there, the right camera, Debbie, that would help. Where you've got this lovely fold. This is where, though, you could be putting things, if you wanted to take the design into something else, you could be actually perhaps putting little pockets inside there or little pictures of people inside there. But of course, we're going to be using those fabulous just saying dies as well. So Joe's going to read you the bucket list. That's
Bucket
not right.
list? No.
Bucket list? No, that's not right.
No.
The list of ingredients that you need.
Just a list.
The list of ingredients you need to make. And join us on this craft along. We are time crafting, where we're going to do it from start to finish, hopefully finish. But yeah, Joe's going to tell you everything that you need to get creative with me this afternoon.
It's absolutely not too late if you want to join us. You've got a few minutes to get your bits and bobs all gathered together. So here is everything you'll need that Debbie has put together for you. So your expression dies, it's the sayings, friends like you and friends that become family, the two that Debbie's used. Guessing you could use any of those dies though, Debbie, if you wanted to.
Yeah, any you want.
Then you've also got your pearlescent card, your multi-purpose cardstock, colour 8x8 papers. Again, you could use whatever you wanted. Debbie's used some blue sequins and some acetate as well, which is awesome. And then some other bits from your stash. So your Gemini midi or larger, your score master guillotine, your adhesives there as well, as you can see. So your all-purpose, your tacky red liner, a tape pen, and also some gems, some butterflies and some flowers, which are optional as well. So that is everything you're going to need to join us on this craft along. The other thing I'll say, if you want to get in touch, what will happen is we'll take regular breaks as we go along. Debbie will recap everything for you, but if you do miss anything, there is anything that you want to know, any questions you've got, you can get in touch with us in all the normal ways. So Crafters TV if you're over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are on YouTube. If you don't yet own these dies and you think, gosh, I'd really love to make that fabulous project, then it's absolutely not too late because you can go for these today. We'll send them out to you. This craft along will be here for you to watch back anytime you like, which is awesome. So let me share with you the dies that are in the Sayings die collection. So you've got this one here firstly, and it's friends like you are far too few. Is what you're saying is on that one. You've got the sentiment die, you've also got the matte layer as well, so you can create that contrast, which is gorgeous. This one here is family is where life begins and love never ends. We've also got there are friends, there is family, then there are friends who become family. You've got where there is faith and hope, miracles happen. Love that one. Then you've got let your faith be bigger than your fears. And also, every day might not be good, but there is something good in every day. Love that. $37.99 and $47.50 gets you all of those as well, which is excellent. $30, $39 or $38 if you are a platinum member. Maria is tuning in saying, hola Maria. Samantha Cheney's here as well. Carletta's in Arkansas. Who else we've got? Evelyn is in Colorado. Roslyn saying hi from Maryland. Karen's in Kentucky. The county, not the chicken takeaway. Debbie is in New York as well. I see Laurie here. Kim's also in Maryland as well. Lots of you very excited. Lots of people ready to create something beautiful over the next couple of hours. I will quickly mention as well the Gilding flakes. They are still available at the moment. They are going really, really quickly though. 70% of these have already now sold out and gone. I'll remind you what you're getting in here then. So you're getting the gold, the copper and also the silver in here too. So they are the three that you are getting included. They are super sizes for you too, 200 mils in each of them. You've then also got as well your toolkit included, and you've got over 90 pieces of die cut self-adhesive foam as well. So a brilliant deal for you on those. You then have the additional colours too in there. I'll quickly share those with you. You've got the first one here is the blush, which is this one just here. You can see you've got colours in there of rose gold, pretty pink, and also the soft rose. This one here is your outer space, your bloom and your starlight. That's the cosmic there. This one is your midnight mauve, your deep iris, and your lapis blue. That's the carnival. That is the most popular of these four options, by the way. That's the one that's going to go first. And then you've got patina, which is the sun glow, the rich copper, and the verdigris as well in there. So $14.99 or $16.95 if you want to get any of those additional colours. Deborah says the sentiments are some of my favourites. Well, we're going to create something fabulous over the next couple of hours, which is brilliant. Not only have you got this amazing show coming up today, of course, as well, we then have Creative Cravings a little later. Myself and Debbie will be back with that. We had a very busy show earlier today as well. Lots of the stuff that you saw is still incredibly busy. The Gilding flakes, the 3-in-1. We'll be seeing all of that again in that later Creative Cravings show, which is absolutely awesome. Remember, if you do want to shop anything from the show, you've got two different options now. So you can either shop the show, which is fantastic, or you can hit the shop the day category, and that shares with you absolutely everything that you have got there throughout the entire day. That's where you'll find the Gilding flakes and some of the other options that we're going to be featuring a little later today, and we featured a little earlier today as well. So if you do want to place an order at any point, you can head over to the website craftscompanion.co.uk.eu and hit that shop the show or day button. But I do believe Debbie is ready to get started. I think everyone else is, Debbie, judging by the comments.
Absolutely. So we'll start with the base card, which is the card itself, because this is a project where you can give this as a gift to someone with your lovely sayings inside there. So we're going to make the base of the card first of all. So for that, I always make, I've said this many a times, that I used to, I'm going to say a while ago now, but I used to buy all my card and envelopes. I used to buy them pre-packed. And then I thought, why am I doing this? Because I'm spending £5, £6, £7, £8, depending on what kind of style they were, on a set of card blanks and envelopes. So I can make my own because I've got all the tools that I need. I've got my enveloper, I've got my my Ultimate Pro. I've got all sorts of things that I can do, and card as well to be able to do it with. So I stopped buying them, and every single card you ever see me bring here, or any project you see me bring here, is always made with our core card stock. And the multi-purpose one is where we're going to start with first. So for that in mind, I am going to take a couple of sheets of this and we'll make my own card base. Now, what we're going to start with is I'm going to make this into a 6x6 card. For the style of the opening, the four-way opening, it means that I need a 6x6 card base. So of course, if that's what you've got at home and you want to use them, then absolutely you can do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own 6x6. So first things first, I'm going to take a piece of our multi-purpose cardstock. I'm going to measure this up to 7 inches at the top, make sure this is nice and flush at the very top, and I'm going to snip that down to 7 inches by 6 inches. So that's your first piece of cardstock, 7 by 6. And then we're going to make another one, which will be the 6x6 base. Now, I can't get it out of the little spare bit, but you could use this for something else, coming up later on in the project as well. So save your little spare bits. And then we're going to do a 6x6 square, like so. And what we're going to achieve with that one is we're going to make our own 6x6 with it, because what we're going to do now is put a fold in here, and that's how you would create your base. I'm just going to move that to one side for a second, and I'm going to bring in our Scoremaster, and I'm going to put this on. So the side that we said was 7 inches, I'm going to put long across there. So we're going to do it in the long way, or short side, depending on which way you look at this. But I'm going to measure it up to that 7 inches, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my score line at 1 inch in. So I'm just going to grab my scoring tool. Let me find, oh, what have I done with my scoring tool? Here we go, I've got it. So my scoring tool, we're going to score at 1 inch, like so. Nice, gentle scoring for that to break the fibres, so to speak. But that now, when I put those two together, creates my 6x6 card opening. And whether I want it that way or tent ways, and I mean, I am going to be doing a tent card, because we're doing a tent fold card for this one. So I'm going to stick those two panels together. So grab hold of your tape, red liner tape, wet glue, whichever way you prefer. But this is just to create the card blank. Now, let's just put this together. You could do these in separate pieces if you want to, because we are going to make a shaker card with this as well, and we're going to create the aperture into this part. However, we're just going to cut ourselves another 6x6. So grab your stamping card. Not stamping card, Debbie. Do you know, the minute I said it, the minute it left my lips, I've done it again. Multi-purpose cardstock, Joe, multi-purpose cardstock. 6x6, because that's going to be what holds the sequins in. Or if you're going for those jewel dies, do you know the jewel dies for the shaker elements? You could be using some of those if you wanted to. But that's going to be your base and the part that goes onto the back to hold all your shaker elements in as well. Now that's that bit done. So we're going to put that to one side. We're going to save that for a little while longer. But what you're going to do is now choose your cardstock. Now I've chosen, well, our lovely John has been running around to get hold of me our lovely, gorgeous cardstock that comes from the Be Beautiful collection, which is the 12x12 pearlescent cardstock.
Oh, there's less than 50 of these available individually, and they're not in the bundle with the Be Beautiful collection later in the day.
Look at the colours. Just look how beautiful. That chocolate brown.
That chocolate's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's just absolutely stunning. So you've got a gorgeous, like, bluey black kind of colour. You've got that gorgeous chocolate colour. I've got that beautiful green, and then at the back there's that beautiful gold yellow, very honeycomb style, that
nice,
one.
Isn't it?
And then the paler
very warm
one as
tones
well.
in here.
They're very, very warm colours, Joe. They really, really are. But this is down to you. I mean, it's entirely up to you. The reason I've chosen the Be Beautiful, because obviously we've got the Be Beautiful on later on tonight, but I've also brought in some of our other things that we've got on the show, which is the Spring Fever pad. So, and I wanted it to match a colour, and my favourite one of this is this beautiful, like a daisy pattern, that lovely flower pattern. So choose your, whatever style of colours you want to use, choose your colours that match. So this is going to be what's creates, and if I just show you again, bringing the card in, this is what's going to create this outside fold here. So that's why I've chosen this outer green, and I thought it matched that colour tone really quite well. It picks out that little bit of green inside your pad. So again, just choose your colours to colour match to your taste. But I'm going to use this piece, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down to an 11x11 size. So popping our long sheet in, take it up to the 11-inch mark, and make sure you're nice and flush up to the top. Now, because you don't have the board underneath, you have to make sure you have got that really uptight. Make sure your leg is pulled out on the guillotine.
Extended. Extend your leg.
Extended leg, extended arm. Extended arm, extended leg.
Arms, legs.
Arm, leg, whichever one you think.
Tomato.
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure it's up to the top and up to that 11-inch mark. Hold your finger guard down and put that down to 11x11. Now you can keep it at the full size, and I'll talk about that in a moment. and put the score lines, and I'll give you the different measurements that you're going to do for this. But this is going to create now our 11 by 11 inch. This is going to create our square bit. Let me just move these out of the way, Joe, because I think I'm getting confused with all my little strands of paper. There we are. Let's move those. So we've got the 11 by 11. Bring your scoreboard back in. And we're going to score this at 2 3/4 inches all the way around. Now, if you was to keep the 12 by 12, you can still do this with a 12 by 12, but you'd score it at 4 inches and 4 inches all the way around to create the same kind of thing. But we're going with 2 3/4 inches with this one. So I'm going to go in, and we're going to score down at the 2 3/4. Sorry, I've just said the 12 by 12 scoring in at 4, it's the 3, sorry. If you are doing the bigger fold, but I'll talk about that in a moment, because the one that we're going to do now is the 2 3/4 inch. Now, if you try to work out where the 2 3/4 on here is when you look at your board between the 2 and 3 mark, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's the 6th track in from your number 2, or the 2nd track down from your number 3, and that is your 3/4 marking. So we're going to do the 2 3/4 all the way around on all four sides of the sheet, like so.
Yeah, everyone seems to be following at the moment. No questions or comments. If you do have anything that you are not following, then you can, of course, let me know over in the comments.
And we need to mention as well, you can join us on our craft along shows.
Oh yeah.
You know, we haven't got a guest today, it feels very weird, I'm not going to lie. Craft along without a guest feels really weird. I hope you're crafting along at home, and when you finish this project, we'd love to see what you make with it as well, because it's quite difficult sometimes when we haven't got a guest. So, but you can join us at any one time, and any of our shows really.
We've got a dedicated email address.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's there on the bottom screen. Crafters TV guest at crafterscompanion.co.uk. Crafters TV guest at crafterscompanion.co.uk. Come and join us. It's fun, isn't it, Debbie?
It is. It's loads of fun. Ask all the guests who've joined us before. But yeah, come and join us, because we love you to craft along with us, and it's a very interactive place to be, and so it's lovely. We see you on the comments. You know, Joe always keeps his eye on the comments. We've got our fabulous social superstars who keep an eye on things and get interactive with us, but sometimes it's nice to have you here in the studio, not physically in the studio, but by modern technology we can Skype you into the studio, we can talk.
Like tomorrow's world, Debbie, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't it? It is. It's a really nice feel, and it keeps Joe company while I do all the teaching. That's what it does. Now I'm going to just now put the folds in, because I've done all the scoring. So all 4 sides, you're going to do that at 2 3/4 inches. If you were keeping it to the 12 by 12, because you can do this fold on a 12 by 12, but just not pop it on not pop it onto a card base, or you could make your card base a little bit bigger than 6 by 6. But if you're doing that, you're going to do it at the 3 inch mark all the way around. But for ours, on the 11 by 11, it's 2 3/4 inches, and we're going to put our score lines in. Now, I've put my scoring tool down again, Joe. Let's have a little rummage round. There we go, I found it. So we're going to pop those nice crisp burnish lines in now. And that's on all 4 sides.
Lots of people talking about those gilding flakes now. They've gone from Jennifer Joseph, Elroy as well. Lots of you still going for those at the moment. We'll be seeing those again in our Creative Cravings show a little bit later this evening.
Do you know what it means though? If we get finished early, we could have a little play with him today.
Absolutely.
We can do. Any excuse to get those gilding flakes out, though. Any excuse. Right, so I've put all my score lines in. Now you can see that it folds in. So it's a bit like, a bit similar to like a pop-up box kind of thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 4 corners. And by that, we're going to take our large scissors and we're going to use our score line to cut up onto. So take your scissors, go along the score line and simply cut away your corners. Now I'm going to do that on all 4 sides.
If you weren't the best with scissors, Debbie, you could use a knife and a ruler or something like that.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Because I know Debbie Fisher, for instance, she loves the scissors, but she can't cut in a straight line with them.
And it's very true. Sometimes it's quite difficult to cut into straight lines. God love her. I love how she's so honest. But it's true. It's a skill, shall we say. Of course, with things like this, you wouldn't be able to use your guillotine because you'll end up snipping the whole panel off, and that's not what we want to do. So either scissors or a craft knife, it's entirely up to you. I suppose it depends what you feel confident and comfortable with. But you can see now I've got my 4 corners. This is my last corner.
Pammy says, yes, do a craft along. They are so much fun. You get to chat to the producer, the director, the presenters, and meet the demonstrators as well.
Aww.
Some people are saying they've got a bit of a HSN hangover today.
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is, Joe.
A lot of people were up late last night watching Sarah, and are sort of trickling in now, very late to the party.
We'll let them off. We'll let them off.
We will.
Now all 4 corners are cut out, Joe. So we're just gonna, and this is the important bit. We want it to fold and the flaps to be able to fold easily. Now, can you see? You know, and Debbie talks about not being able to cut in straight lines. This is when you need to make sure that if you are using a craft ruler or a craft knife, and I can see that because the lights in the studio are incredibly bright, I can see that I've got a little bit below that score line. So I just want to make sure that when I fold this over, that these tuck in comfortably, because what I don't want it to do is to pull it up. So do you know what I mean by that? When you put your score line. So I can see again, and I can see it when I look at it, that, and sometimes it's easy to see it on the other side, your score line, but you just want to make sure these are nice and neat and done in. So it doesn't matter if you keep going until you get it right. But I want to make sure that that tucks over comfortably, and I can still see I still need to snip a little bit off.
Just a fly's eyelash.
I love that expression. It's Arleanne, isn't it? A fly's eyelash. I think it's a great expression. And that's probably where the craft knife would be the better one to do this. But we just want to make sure that those score lines are put in nice and neatly. So again, just pop your line, I'm struggling with my words today, Joe. I don't know if you've noticed. Phone folder. Thank you very much. I know exactly what it is. But can I ecky thump say it? There we go. So pop those on.
Always makes me laugh when you say ecky thump.
Ecky thump. That's another Yorkshire saying, ecky thump. So I'm going to do that around all 4 sides just to make sure that I've got it. And this bit doesn't take that long to do, Joe, but it's just to make sure that flies Eilish. Eilish? I've got Billie Eilish on the brain there.
Billie Eilish's sister, Flies Eilish. Or a really bad Billie Eilish tribute group, Flies Eilish.
Oh dear. Right, let me get rid of my little flies eyelashes. And I'm just making sure that all 4 sides fold nice and neatly into each other, because it makes a difference when you're doing this project. To make sure, and again, you can see now I've got my tabs all sorted. That's all nice and neatly done, and like so. That's how it creates that lovely fold. And honestly, it's a lot easier than it looked at. I mean, it really, really, truly is. But that will be what sits onto the front of our panel. But we're not going to do anything like that just yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut out as pattern paper. We're going to use as dies, but I think we'll take a couple of minutes for everyone to catch up. And then we'll do the rest.
Amazing. Any questions you've got, get them into us, of course. I think everyone's following at the moment, judging by the comments. I really want to just share with you, we do have the MIDI on the show today. Very, very busy on this. It's a really fabulous machine, a 6x9 cutting platform that you've got here with this. So same size you're used to with your Junior. This is a hand-wound machine. It's very, very quick, very easy to use. Whenever I've crafted along with our experts, I've always used this. So, I mean, if I can use it, Debbie, anyone can use it. The other thing I love about it as well is that it's a folder-based system. So just your cardstock and your thin metal die inside, and pass that straight through. You've got no sandwich or plate combinations to worry about whatsoever. So I think maybe if you know someone's into crafting, getting into crafting, it's a great first machine. I know a lot of people love to use this in conjunction with something like a larger Gemini, just to do smaller, quicker jobs through. Absolutely, you can do that. You can still use it to emboss as well as cut your thin metal or paper craft dies, which is brilliant. Great if you like crafting on the go, that, Debbie. Or if you are a late night covert crafter, you're going to absolutely love that as well. $62.99 or $80.95 with a 10% saving, which is awesome. The other thing I have got to tell you about is the matte black card, which is down here. 80 sheets total with this, which is brilliant. A4 inside. It's a true black cardstock as well. I know that sounds ridiculous, but Debbie, there's a lot of black cardstock out there on the market that isn't actually truly black, isn't there?
Absolutely, and that is a beautiful cardstock, that one, it really is. For matting and layering, for construction, stamping onto, heat embossing, all sorts of different things you can do with that. It's a truly fabulous one. It's my go-to black cardstock every single time. And when you tear it, Joe, I know you haven't got a sheet there to tear, but when you tear it, it's got the black core underneath as well. It's not white.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes
But it's
a
really
nice
important
difference.
if you're doing something like die cutting with it, you don't want that, you know, the white edges showing through. So 300 GSM, a brilliant all-round weight, as Debbie said, £15 or $21. That's 25% saving there on that particular deal, which is awesome. There's no comments at all, Debbie, which makes me believe...
Is everybody asleep, or does that mean no one's joining us
That's
on the craft along?
it's a really good sign, because it means everyone's following and keeping up. You're obviously very concise and clear with the instructions. So if you do have any questions as we go along, you can keep getting them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. But if you're ready for the next section, Debbie, I believe everyone else is pretty much good to go.
Right, so what we'll do then is we'll choose as paper. Now, I am using from the Spring Fever, but you think of all the gorgeous papers that we've had out quite recently. This project we can use with any kind of style of crafting. It's just something that, you know, a personal choice really. But because I had the Spring Fever on the show, I quite like this pattern paper. But there's lots of beautiful papers in this one. And I'm going to use the 3 sheets, but look at all the lovely colourways through there. You've got pinks, you've got lovely, like a florally one, you've got the gorgeous, it's like a basket weave, that one, which is really lovely. I love the rick-rack.
Yes, Rick.
Zigzag.
Makes my eyes go a little bit funny.
Did you see the light? Do you know what on the camera? Can
Ooh.
you see it moving on
Wiggle
camera?
it a bit, Debbie,
Ooh.
wiggle it.
Good. Go back. Let's
Wiggle
go
the
back.
last one. Wiggle it. And the paper pad. Did you
Oh,
wiggle
right.
yourself?
Did I wiggle?
Did you
I went
wiggle
like that.
instead?
Yeah, did you notice I wiggled it myself
It's like a
then?
little disco on your screen when you
Yeah,
wiggle
it
it.
is, yeah, it's gold, but it's a lovely paper pad. You've got polka dots in here, another basket weave one. Look, the gorgeous colour tones. Small polka dots, large polka dots, lovely floral polka dot, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful as well. That would look nice in there as well. Blue stripes in, and I love this one as well. It reminds me a bit like the... what was that Blockbusters game? Do you know what the
Blockbuster?
Blockbusters? Yeah, oh, that was it.
What was that Blockbuster game?
Daisy.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
I know what I meant, Joe. I know what I meant. Right, so I'm just going to use this now. We're going to cut out our panels that are going to sit in. Now, I wanted them to be on all 4 sides. So I'm having them on the inside, I'm having them on the outside, and inside here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut down our strips, and I'm going to use the solid, not the solids, the patterned one first of all. Now, all of these panels measure in at 2 3/4 by 5 1/2 now. So when you're looking at that in measurement terms, what you need to do is just make sure you've got your right pieces cut. So I'm going to cut the strips down to, and I think if I remember rightly, it's 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to measure it with 1. So let me just bring my guillotine back in for a second. And this serves me right, Joe, because look, have you seen my scrollings when I do my teaching? Oh my days. I'm surprised I can read my own writing with this, because I'm absolutely shocking when it comes to this. But we're going to cut these down to the 2 1/2. So let me just move that out of the way for a second. Let me grab my little ruler just to double check. Yeah, 2 1/2, thought it was. So my writing's not that bad when I can read it. So we're going to cut it down to 2 1/2. So take it up to 2 1/2. By the 5 1/4, like so. And that will, one of those will fit into our panel. So we need that 1, 2, 3 more times for this panel, and then another 4. So you're needing 8 of those in total with your sheets. So you're just going to keep that. Now I can make sure that I can get a fair few out of one piece of paper. And I'm just going to show you. So we're going to go to the 2 1/2 mark. By the 5 1/4. So out of that one sheet, I'm just going to make sure I've got that the right way around so that I get all my 4 pieces of one piece onto one side. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that's right. 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. And out of that one sheet of 8 by 8, just by cleverly turning it, I've got my 4, or I did have my 4, there we go. I've got my 4 panels that will sit in on the inside like so. So I can do that from one sheet, and I'm just going to repeat that again. So I'll show you that again. Take your patterned cardstock. Obviously, if you're using larger cardstock, it doesn't matter. You're going to get more out of it. But with an 8 by 8, I just want to make sure we've got enough out of there. So we're going to go in again first off with a 2.5 mark to the 5 1/4. So that has our first piece sorted. But what I can get now out of this is the 3 panels as well. So I'm just going to cut this down to 5 1/4 first. So it's like got a little slither left, and then we're going to do the 2.5s again. So we get our 4 sheets out of there. We've got 1. We've got 2. And we've got our third and fourth piece out of there as well. So let me just make sure I've got them nicely measured up. So again, out of the second sheet, we've got our other 4 pieces. That's how to make your cardstock, especially when you're working with smaller paper pads, is to get the the most out of it, just by turning it, just by giving it that little slight turn. So we did the first one in that first length, but just by simply turning it onto the other side, we've got all the rest out of it. Because when I did it first off, Joe, at home, I did it all in one go and only got 3 pieces and then a bit of waste, and I'm like, oh, I could have made, just by that simple turn, instead of having lots of little scrap pieces, I got all 4 out of there. So that's all the 4 pieces that are going to sit on the inside flaps, and these are going to sit on the outside flaps.
Perfect.
But of course we need a middle base as well, so if I just move those out of the way for the time being. We've got all those 4 pieces, put those to one side because we'll glue those down in a moment. But we need to create now a panel on the inside. But this is when I brought in the solids one, because I wanted to, again, give it a little bit of a lift. So I'm going to choose, now let's have a look, see if I've got the gorgeous blue in there that matches. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to choose this. And this is from the Spring Fever matching solids that matches beautifully because they've been colour coordinated to work together. All the papers in there have been colour coordinated to work beautifully with the patterned paper pad. And I've chosen that blue because I thought that blue matched that blue really quite well. So I only need 1 sheet of this though, so I'm going to come in with these 2 pieces.
Debbie, would you mind just repeating your measurements just for this stage so far? Sherry's just fallen behind a little bit.
And so was this with this particular piece?
I think it's the matte layers, I think.
So the matte layers. So with the 8 by 8, did you say Sherry?
Sherry, yeah.
Sherry. So what you're going to do is, first of all, take your 8 by 8 paper. Of course, if you're using 12 by 12, you'll get a lot more panels out of your 12 by 12. But the first one you're going to take in is at 2.5 inches. So 2.5 by 5 1/4. So that's 2.5, 5 1/4. By simply then turning your paper, when you've got the remaining out, by simply just turning it round, you'll get the 3 other panels out of there by measuring up at 2.5 by 5 1/4. So you'll end up with 4 panels out of 1 sheet of 8 by 8. And that's when you can get the most out of your paper. So 2.5 by 5 1/4. And you need that 8 times because it's going to sit on those inside flaps and on the outside ones as well. We're not going to do this one because this one's going to sit on our card base. But in order to create the lovely saying die, we need the matte and layering going off in here as well, which is what we're going to do next. So I hope that helps, Sherry. So it's 2.25 by 5. 2.5 by 5 1/4.
Perfect.
Yep, lovely. Right, so just putting those to one side, we're going to go back to this solid sheet. Now, this is going to be 5 1/4 inch square. So I'm going to go in with a 5 1/4 inch square. So the inside panel for the inside, and I'll just show you, so the inside, that's your first mat. And this one, the pattern paper, so because in each of those, especially the solids, you get 3 sheets of each design of the paper, so that's how you can get it out of one go. So we're going to cut this to 5 by 5. So 5 inch by 5 inch. And that sits perfectly into there, like that. But I'm going to show you how, and teach you again how to do the aperture, because we're going to cut through 2 pieces of this at the same time. So I'm just going to leave that for now because that's going to sit into the centre part of that. And we're going to cut the aperture out of these two pieces and then lay the saying die on the centre panel. So if that's all right, shall we take a little pause there?
Yeah, let's take a little pause there.
Let's take a little pause then.
And why don't we take a little break as well, give you an opportunity just to get yourselves all caught up. So whilst you do that and finish off those panels, let's share with you all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Right, whilst you were just finishing off, getting caught up, I just want to share with you a couple of the other items that we've got on the show for you. These have been very, very popular, and they're going to be great to create the inner element for your shaker card as well. It's our Sequin dies. They're going to allow you to create something that looks like a sequin out of anything you want to, all the things that you can cut ordinarily with our thin metal dies. It even puts the little sort of embossed lines in there as well, so it looks like they've been pressed. You've got the hearts, the circles, and the stars in there. $18.99. or $27.95 is your price. It's very busy on those today. The other thing I must share with you again is those gilding flakes. They are so incredibly busy still. And the brilliant thing about this kit is you've got that starter collection with the foam, also the 3 pots of the gilding flakes in there. They are massive sizes, and you've got the toolkit in there as well. Here's the 3 different colours on the gilding flakes there, the silver, the gold and the copper, and here it is on those double-sided adhesive foam embellishments. You get over 90 of the double-sided foam embellishments included within there. I will give you the details as well and just share with you the additional colours that we have got available for the Gilding Flakes too. Loads of you, most of you in fact, going for the starter kit and the 4 additional colours. The additional colours here, $14.99 or $16.95. It's the blush, and that gives you the rose pink, the rose gold, the pretty pink, and the soft rose. The blush is half gone, by the way. The cosmic is the outer space, the blue moon, and the starlight. The carnival is your most popular of all of the colour combinations. About 70% gone here, over 70% gone to the starter kit. Midnight Mauve, Deep Iris, and Lapis Blue are your colours here. I just love it when they're all used together there. I think it's such an amazing colour combo. And then finally you also have the patina. It's the Sun Glow, the Rich Copper, and the Verdigris as well. $14.99 or $16.95 is your price there on those. But everyone is pretty much caught up and good to go. Sherry thanks us for the measurements. You know how she fell behind, Debbie? She was chatting, that's what she said. There you are. Any questions you've got as we go through, then get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube. But everyone seems pretty much ready to rock and roll the next stage, Debbie.
Right, so before we start gluing anything in, we're going to create a couple of apertures because don't forget, on the inside of our base of our card, we're making a bit of a shaker card using the dies. So before we start sticking these panels down, and the only reason I know is because when I started constructing my card at home, I started sticking things down, then realised I wanted to change it up a little bit, and then made life difficult for myself.
Okay.
So we're going to make it easy right now because we're doing the craft along. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 2 apertures. So we're going to use a couple of these dies. Now I've chosen, and this is entirely up to you how you use these, but I've got friends like you are far too few. There we go. And this one, there are friends, there is family, then there are friends that become family, which I just love that one. That's going to be the focal part of the inside of my sentiment. So that's going to sit on the inside panel of this one. Okay? But we need to create apertures. So that's going to be the aperture for that one, and that's going to be the aperture for the inside of there. So I'll just do one at a time to show you how we're going to do it. So we're going to go back to our card blank. And we're just going to remove the outer matte layer. Love this because that gives you opportunity to create apertures. Opportunity, boom, boom, I know you get that in there. But to create your apertures, which is what we're going to do to create that shaker card element, but it gives you the opportunity to create a matten layer. So if you just wanted to keep this really simple, cut this in a solid, cut that in a plain cardstock, pattern cardstock, gilding, flakes, and, you know, all those kind of things you can do with it. But it gives you opportunities to create something a little bit different. So we're going to open up our, and we're going to have it as a tent fold. So a tent fold means it's like you would with a tent. There you go. Which opens up from this side rather than this side. Nothing to stop you actually from doing it either way. But the way that the nature of this sits on, it sits more comfortably onto the front, like so. So it makes it a little bit easier when you're opening it up. So we're going to have a tent fold. We're going to open that up and we're going to cut the aperture, that's it, that's the word I'm looking for, aperture, into the back base of the card. So I'm going to hold that down and then I'm going to bring in my plates. I've got my large ones here, so I'll use that one. And we're going to cut through this one, like so. So let's pop that in. And just cut through that. Oh, hang on a minute, oh dear. Keep your plates flush. Oh, I'm not looking.
You're on the wonk.
It's because I'm doing everything on a, do you know, at home I have it sat here on me, so I'm doing everything a little bit back to front when I come to the studio. The same when I'm on TV, as in like, as TV bit, I always have it on the other side of the machine, just the way the camera angles, and plus we have it so you can see the gorgeous machine in action. So it makes it a bit difficult, and sometimes when I'm putting my plates in, I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing. Put them in flush, and that way you won't damage your plates. So when you take that off, and just take your time with this little bit. There we go. There we are. We've created the little aperture, and that's the inside bit that's going to be the shaker, because remember the panel that we had? I'm just thinking then, has it not cut through? Oh, it has. There it is. Let me just, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, that don't look right. So let me just get it. There we go. It's cut through both of those, because I made my own card blank, you see, so that's why I've got my little flap there. But it's cut through those. That's created that aperture.
Perfect.
We're going to do, so put that to one side. for the time being, because we're going to come back and use that. In fact, let's do it now. Let's get that bit out of the way. So I'm going to use that mat to create my word. So I'm going to now pop in the word one. Could have done that in one go, couldn't I? Yeah, of course I could have. Power of the Gemini would have done that. So I'm just going to use that now to create my mat. Let me switch for my smaller plates, Joe. Let's speed the process up a little bit. So I'm going to use that to cut out now my word. So from that aperture, I've created the aperture, but I've also created the wording that I'm going to use. It's going to sit onto the inside of there as well. Now, this is when you can be adding colour to it. You can be doing absolutely anything. I love the idea of the gilding flakes. Wonder if I've got a gilding flake that would match. Might have to do that later. But yeah, you could do that with you know, this design. But I'm keeping it for now. It's keeping it nice and white. So when we take that out, you've got a lovely little frame. But again, I mean, I don't really need that, so that can go in the bin. But what I've done is, again, created that one panel that's cut the aperture out, and it's also cut the word out that we're going to place back into there. So for the time being, we're going to put that to one side, like so. And then we're going to bring in the other sentiments. So let me just pop those back onto there, because we've done with that one now. So pop that one. Have I done wrong one? Do you know me today?
Donna Ridgell says, Debbie, hi Joe, my daughter and granddaughter told me yesterday that I watched so much CCTV that one day I would talk with an English accent. She said I thought I would die laughing.
Right, so do you know what? You could join us on Craft Along if you wanted.
Absolutely, you could,
Yeah,
Donna Ridgell. Give us a, send us a message.
Come and join us. It'd be lovely to have you. It really would. Right, I'm going to use the other one. Now, this is the one that's going to sit on the inside of my card. So for this one, I'm going to show you how you can create the aperture. So if you didn't see the show this morning, what we used, I'm going to create an aperture cutting through to both of those. So to do that, and I did mention it this morning, I try and make life a little bit easier for myself when it comes to crafting. So to try and do this in like one separate piece, and try and match it up and line it up together, can be a tad difficult. So what I'm going to do, Joe, is I am going to line that up. Now you can do this two ways. You can use your dotty tape pen to hold it down, or you can use a little bit of low tack tape as well. So either way will work. But you just want to position your frame. You could actually glue it down and let the glue dry and then cut through it if you wanted to as well. But you need to make sure that your glue is completely dry, because if you use wet glue and it isn't fully dry, the problem that you have there is that sometimes the glue can seep out and spoil your project. So we're going to cut the aperture into that. So I've held it down with some low tack tape. I've done it slightly different from what I did this morning, because this morning I used a little bit in each corner. I used our dotty tape pen, but for this positioning, I've just held it down with some low tack tape, and then I'm going to put my low tack tape over my die to keep my die, and this creates the aperture part for you. So let's pop a little bit onto there, and I just need one more piece, like so, onto there as well. And then we're going to run that through our machine. So again, your normal combination is onto the cutting blade facing down, followed by your plastic shim, magnetic shim, and the other cutting plate, and we're going to run that through. And that will cut through those two pieces in one pass. So, and it's positioned it perfectly in, so you don't have to try and measure it up. But of course, like I said, you could do that and speed that process up by gluing it down, but let your glue dry first. So we'll take that off, and we'll lift this off now. So I'm going to take time. Let's take that off. Whenever you're using low tack tape, pull it towards you so you don't rip the fibres of your cardstock or your paper. And that's a good top tip that Arleanne gave me. And again, I'm just going to remove the tape. Now these are the bits that are classed as waste, but I would actually store them somewhere, because you could use them in another project. You could have that as a mat and then put your words out and create a lovely piece over the front. The same with that one. You could actually cut your words out now in your pattern paper and then add it in, or you could do it the other way around, where you cut your words out in a solid and stick it into the mat because it would fit in there perfectly. So like I did with that other one, where I got the 2 out of the 1 piece, that's what you could do with this one as well. But just pop those to one side because we don't need them, but these are the 2 pieces that we do need. And so we're going to glue those 2 pieces together now. Make sure I've got it the right way around because I think I've just twisted it. Yes, you did, Debbie. There you go. And you've got that perfect mat and layer in position now. So you've not done, you know, it's just, again, a little top tip. But of course, when I was at home, I had already glued mine down and let it dry. But again, because we're doing real-time crafting, we're not having anything pre-planned, we're not having anything pre-cut. This is why it's award-winning. We're crafting along in real time, like we would if we were face-to-face, and I've taught many a class face-to-face, we would do it all together at the same time. So I'll just position that in. I'm using wet glue for this bit because it gives me the wiggle time to get it perfectly positioned. And then let it dry. And it's ready to go on in the centre. But of course there's something missing, Joe.
What's
that's
that?
the words. What's the words that is the words that are missing?
Oh.
I want it to stand out, so I'm going to use white again. But again, this is a personal choice. You can use any colour, and I mean any colour you want. But I'm going to use, let me bring in some scrap that I've got left over. Let's just go in with that one. Trim these down with some scissors. And I like white sometimes. I think white's quite striking. It's quite a striking colour, and you can see sometimes a bit clear. Sometimes when you cut these out, do you know if you cut them with coloured cardstock, a solid colour will make the words pop. Okay. When you start to use patterns, and I've tried it because I've tried all sorts of different ways, when you use a pattern with a word and the sentiment, it kind of gets a little bit lost.
Can be a little bit illegible, can't it?
Yeah, so sometimes, for these dies especially, the stronger, the bolder the colour, the better you can read the script. And that's just my own personal view. I mean, I haven't seen any. Maybe there's some people out there that have used it and might want to prove me wrong. Send your pictures in, because I'm all for, you know, people sending pictures in and sharing, because we've had these out now. How long have these been out, Joe?
I haven't. This is the first time I've seen them today. They were launched on the 24th of March, apparently.
Do we know who launched them? Because it would definitely
We're going to
work
find out who launched them.
I'm making Johnny work now, isn't he?
Johnny's response actually was, crikey, Debbie.
What's that?
Johnny's response was, crikey, Debbie. Michelle launched them.
Was it Michelle? So lots and lots of tuition then. I mean, I don't know how many she went through because I didn't watch the show. Sorry, Michelle, but I didn't watch the show. I was probably busy doing something else, but there'll be tons of beautiful projects that Michelle would have created, and I know she will because she's uber talented. So yeah, go back and watch that show. What was the date again?
24th of March.
24th
Ben
of
was
March.
presenting, Michelle was guesting, Charlotte was vision mixing, Johnny was producing, and Jake was a floor manager.
How do you remember all that?
I just know.
Well, I just think you're very clever for remembering all that. Was Jake back off, I would have said maternity leave then. Paternity leave. Was he back off paternity leave
I don't
by
think
then?
he'd gone at that point, had he?
I did not gone at that point.
No.
When was Abel born?
I think the little one came along in April, didn't she?
Was it April? Dear me. Isn't it funny I can't remember? I just can't remember that. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in, now before we start sticking all these bits down, we're going to pop on all of our pieces. Do you know what you could use? You could use contrast in different colours, different paper pads, but I do love this daisy print, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to pop on now. We'll do the outside bits first, so we'll pop the outside pieces on. So using your wet glue or your tape pen or your choice of tape, to be fair, because you could use whatever it is that I know some people work with finger lift tape. I personally, when I'm using panels and I want to get my mat and layer perfectly, I personally use our all-purpose glue for the reason being I get that wiggle time to get it into place. So I'm going to pop all my layers down first, like so. There we go.
A lot of people still going for those gilding flakes. I'm very excited about them too, Debbie. Deborah's saying really excited to get all the colours.
Well, let's just be honest. We don't. Well, me and Joe, yeah, we've got loads.
Oh, we were very blasé.
Well, we were
almost laissez-faire about it yesterday, weren't we?
I did know they was going to be popular though, because There's a lot of people out there that have been wanting our own gilding flakes for a long time. We've been promising them for a long time. Finally, we've got them. I just don't think we anticipated just how popular they were going to be. And believe you me, we had a big stock level when we started, probably the biggest. Now we've had to start pinching from other areas of the business.
We have. There's going to be some very unhappy people in different departments when they go to the warehouse who, you know, say, oh, wait, who's had our gilding flakes? Oh, sorry, that was Crafters TV.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Sorry, that was Deborah Allen. She stocked up and got them all.
Definitely, definitely. What have I done with my other... Oh, have I put my other pieces? Wait a minute. That was me 4. Oh, Joe, can tell I'm crafty. I've lost all my other bits. Just hang fire while I find all my other bits and bobs. Honestly, I've lost 4 pieces that you saw me physically cut out. What on earth have I done with them? Hang on a minute, I'll have a look under here, because they could be here. No, that's not a... Well, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh! Well, as if by magic. Being all cleaning and tidying, I hadn't realised they was there. So we're going to put the four pieces on the inside part now. So this is when we're going to pop our glue on the inside panels.
Dana's absolutely loving the colours of this card, they say.
Honestly, I mean, the spring fever, which is the pattern one, and the spring solids. There's lots of lovely colours in there. They're really, to be fair, I mean, I think Crafters Companion are one of the, honestly, the best places to get hold of paper pads, cardstock, because we all need them to craft with. And these are absolutely beautiful. And I just love the colour tones, and they're very fresh-like, which is why I chose these. But of course, this is your project. This is your craft along. Choose what you like. Choose the colours you like. You can do this project with any patterned papers. I've just chosen these because this was my personal preference off the choice that I'd been given. So, and that's why I've chosen these. Very fresh looking and really quite pretty. Very pretty. So again, I'm just going to pop those in.
Jennifer says, absolutely loving this craft along so far. Once I get my craft room fully and finally organised, I'll definitely be coming back to it. It changes, I bet it changes the way you feel about crafting at home, doesn't it, Debbie? Having your new super organised craft room.
Having your own craft room is something that you can get, you know, having your own space. And believe you me, I started off on a kitchen table. I literally, genuinely started off on my kitchen table and then moved into a room once one of my daughters had left. So I moved into my little room and it was lovely and tidy. In fact, it popped on my Facebook memories the other day and I thought, oh God, look at it. And that's where everything had its own place and it was beautiful. Then I outgrew that space, then went downstairs into what was my bedroom and I switched. So I went into the small room and there. But if you have seen those social media posts from last year, it became, although it was a big room, it became very unworkable.
I know you said it was messy, Debbie, but I didn't realise quite how messy it was. Yeah, I've seen the videos.
You did. I was a little bit shamed by that video, but it was like it's very cathartic, isn't it, when you track your movements and how you do things. But you know, like when you see how it was to what it is now, because then I did, when my other daughter moved out, I then did a topsy-turvy, went back upstairs and had it all kitted out, and it makes such a difference. Such a difference. It really, really does make a difference.
And you've kept it tidy as well.
And it's kept tidy ever since, it really is. Now, we're gonna start to put this all together. I'm just thinking, shall we give everyone a little moment or two just to catch up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I've got a few bits that I want to pop you through. A couple of different collections for you on the luxury cardstocks that are available here for you. So this one here, this is going to give you the purple, the silver, and it's also the ice blue as well. Now these are brilliant because they give you the same colour tone, but they give you 10 sheets of glitter, 10 sheets of mirror and 10 sheets of matte mirror there. The blue one, you get the 2 blues and then you get sort of a real ice blue, really real pale. So that's your first option. And then the other one we have is another colour collection. It's your red, green and gold, which is fabulous. And again, 10 sheets of the mirror, 10 of the matte mirror and 10 of the glitter, which is gorgeous. Really lovely to have that sort of tone on tone with the different textures. A really lovely way to do it. I also need to just quickly remind you about the 3-in-1 creator cards. Still extremely busy on those. You will see these a little later in our Creative Craving shows, I'm sure. Let me just quickly take you through then how these work. So what you've got is one large creator card die split into 2 central parts. So you've got one part that cuts this outside sort of background border piece, and then another part that cuts a central detail piece as well within there. And then what you can do is use both of those pieces together and create something really quite impressive. Now, I'll show you how that works out when you're using them on the 6 brand new designs that you've got. So this one here is your celebration cake, as you can see right there. Then you've also got balloon bouquet. That one is your elegant fairy. You'll also get daisies and dragonflies. That's a butterfly garden. And you've also got this one, the floral peacock. They're all the designs that you have got in there. 80, 155, 95, 75, you want to get your hands on those. The other thing I just want to quickly mention as well for US viewers is a certain lady has got her book. It is just released here last week in the UK. It's widely available all across the UK, in all the places you normally get your books from. But if you are in the US, you will be able to purchase it from our website. So head on over to our website. You can purchase a signed copy, and you'll also get exclusive access to an In Conversation event with Sarah on Friday, a week on Friday. So make sure that you check that out. It's over on the website for you, and you'll find all the details of it there, which is awesome. Right, there's not really any questions in the comments. Lisa says, my craft room's been packed. Luckily, I had held out some crafty supplies. I don't leave the UK until the 27th of May. I need something to do whilst I stay in a hotel. I know Lisa's moving back to the US. But good job you managed to keep some supplies out to yourself. There's no other questions, Debbie, so if you are ready for the next section, I think everyone else pretty much is.
Yes, and I'll just wish Lisa a very happy, safe journey back home, because I met the lovely Lisa at the weekend, lovely lady, and I'm a bit envious because she's going back, she's travelling in style, Joe. She's going back by a cruise. She's going by a cruise, can you believe that? Beautiful, beautiful cruise, so it's going to be fabulous. So yeah, lovely Lisa, have a safe travel back. Now, let's put this all together. So what we'll do is, we'll do it in stages, because obviously we've got the shaker element to do as well. Completely forgot about those jewel dies being on the show. We might have to change it up a little bit. Instead of sequins, we might change it up to those jewel dies. I might borrow your set, because they are fabulous. And I love the idea behind those, which actually came from one of our own. It was our lovely Liam.
It was indeed.
And those designs are really, really quite useful as well. So you can cut and create your own, because you can use your things like your mirror card, your glitter card, and create your own jewel sequins rather than extra sequins. I mean, we've got the choices. That's the lovely thing that we have here at Crafters Companion. You've got choices. If you love your sequins, you can use the sequins. Perhaps there's something else you want to pop in there. Perhaps you want to put things like buttons in there, because I know people do buttons. Coloured salt. I know that sounds really weird, but you know when you do your salt techniques with your sparkle pens and things like that, yeah. I save my salts. I know you think that's daft, but I save my salts for things like shaker cards. I don't throw anything away. No. Hence why I had a very messy craft room prior to the new one. Right, so let's stick our panel in. And we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do it in stages. So by now you'll have got all your panels on, like so, on both sides. And then we're going to stick the inside bit. Before you actually stick it down, don't do what I did. Just make sure you've got it in the right angle. So we're going to pop this in first. This is when you could actually lift off. You could have a little shaker card inside this one if you wanted to. And you could put some foam on a roll on the back of there, put some acetate on, and have a little bit of a shaker element going off on the inside. This is a really lovely style card, I think, if I remember rightly. I'm trying to think if it was because there's a couple, well, I follow quite a lot of people on YouTube. Sam Calcott is one. She's fabulous from Mixed Up Craft. She's a wonderful designer, always coming up with some fancy fold. I think the other one is Iced Images. I think it's called Iced Images.
You love a fancy fold, don't you, Debbie?
Oh, I am obsessed with fancy folds. There's lots of wonderful YouTube tutorials out there from very, very many talented crafters in the community, all over the world, globally. So yes, I follow her a lot, and I think this is one of, I don't know if it's one of Sam's design or one of the iced, I keep wanting to call her Iced Queen, but she's not Iced Queen. I'm sure it's called Iced Images. But check out YouTube. There's lots and lots of tutorials, including, of course, ourselves. So we're going to just put that into place. But like I said, you could make this into absolutely any kind of style of card. And you can actually, if you wanted, you could have a little base at the back and create it straight from here, or simply have this as a lovely gift wallet. That on itself is really beautiful, and that can be worked in any kind of size, from your 12 by 12 sheets. This was an 11 by 11, go down to 10 by 10. You just need to adjust your panels to either side, whatever it's going to be, whatever style of card you're going to use. But yeah, it's a really nice little fold, this one. And something a little bit different. I like something that's a little bit different. Yeah. And we try and do, we try and bring you lots of different styles here on our craft alongs, as well as all our others, with launch days and things like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pop in our sentiment into the centre, and this is when you're going to use, and I've just seen I've got a little bit still stuck in there, let me get rid of that. You can use your dotty tape pen for the back of that if you want. I'm sometimes a little bit heavy-handed, I'm not going to lie, so I am going to pop on mine, and I'll just pop it down there when I can find it, my tacky glue that I've already decanted into our fine tip applicator. Now, I don't believe we've got these in stock at the moment, so as Joe's mentioned many a time, you can actually pop in your email address, isn't it, Joe, and be notified when things come back into stock. You may already have one. You may have a Xyron machine. You could use your Xyron machines with this. You could, of course, have put this onto a double-sided adhesive sheet and then die cut into it, especially if you're doing things like your gilding flakes, may I say. So there's lots of things that you can do, and of course a double-sided adhesive sheet will be obviously double-sided adhesive, so you can die cut into it, but I'm just using, and I'm only going in with a tiny dot all the way around. This is because, and I will openly admit, you've probably seen me many a time, I'm a little bit heavy-handed with things, and the dotty tape pen on a delicate and a delicate die cut, that is very delicate because there's lots of script right in there, I get a little bit carried away with my dotty tape pen, and I go a bit heavy-handed, and then I end up tearing it. So that's why I'm using my fine tip applicator for this. It's like anything, we've got the choices there. The choices there are available. You do what you are comfortable with. So bringing that back in now, I'm going to place that back into the position. And again, I'm just going to make sure. You see what I mean about it being in white, Joe? It's very legible, is that the word?
Yeah, and it really ties in nicely with that pattern paper that you've used there as well, Debbie.
Yeah, because there's lots, to focus in. I mean, I've not stuck it all down just yet, but I will do in a minute. But it draws you in, and it makes it pop as well. If I'd have used a darker colour, it would have got lost in that design because my pattern is really busy. So it's a busy pattern. So to have a solid colour there in the centre obviously makes it very readable, but makes it pop and also brings it in line with the rest of the design that I've got and the rest of the colours. And this little devil just does not want to come out, so I'm just going to go in with my poker tool and yank it out, as you do. There we go, get rid of that. Now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to stick that down. I don't think I've got any glue on the back of my R, so I'm just going to go in and, no, I didn't put any glue on, no wonder it weren't sticking down. Let's pop that down. And position and stick. And I think that's all of that stuck down. There we go. Let's go across it all. And like I said, this bit you could have a little bit of an aperture with a shaker element behind it, because you could put your shaker elements behind there. But for the centre of my card, I'm going to keep it just like that. So that is the inside panel. So you tuck your flaps in. And again, all you can do to make sure, just if you're not feeling it that it folds nice and neat, just go back in with your scoring tool and make sure you've got those crisp score lines around each one, and it makes such a difference for opening and shutting as well. So we're going to go in And there, that's the shutter part of that done. And that is going to sit on the front panel of the card like so. But we're not going to stick it down just yet, Joe, because what we're going to concentrate on now is making the shaker part of the card. So we're going to, shall we have a little break?
I think so, don't
Yeah?
you?
Oh,
It
yeah,
feels
I'll
like
have a
a good
little
time,
break,
doesn't
yeah.
it? Take a pause right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a quick pause and let's give you an opportunity to get yourself caught up. Whilst we do that, let's share with you all the details of US shipping.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Make your die cutting tools last as long as your love for crafting with the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates. Your metal dies are put under lots of pressure with each pass through your Gemini die cutting machine. So to make sure they cut crisp, clean, delicate designs for years to come, you need to look after your dies, and that's where the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates come in. Quick Buy, get yours now.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Loads of you getting yourselves caught up there. Laurie says, I'm enjoying watching, getting a coffee and waking up my daughter. She's in college and her last 2 final exams today, they are online. 1 more year. So proud. Best of luck to your daughter, Laurie. Going to quickly come back to these gilding flakes and have a little look at these, that incredible starter collection. I remember everything that you are getting in there. You're going to get the 2 foam shapes within there. You're also getting the toolkit, of course, and you're getting the 3 supersize collections here on the actual foams, on the actual gilding flakes. Sorry, let me just show you again the 3 colours then that you've got in there, and this is the foam selection. So within the swirls just here, you'll get 39 pieces and 57 in the nature. They are the 3 core colours. You're getting 200 mils of each of those included, and then of course you're also getting that incredible toolkit. That's got your super sticky glue in there, also your dry foam pad, your dry, is it called a dry ink pad? It is. That's why I thought it should be called a foam pad. That was why I was getting really confused, because you think it's got ink in it, don't you?
Yeah.
But it's your dry ink pad, and you get 3 sponges in there too.
That's right, yes.
Amazing value, $29.99. You'd be hard pressed to get the gilding flakes for that, I think, if you were looking at other brands, and the quality of these is absolutely off the charts. I also want to share these with you. These are the 3 sort of further colours that we're doing, colour packs. 50 mils in each of these. This is the blush, and that gives you rose gold, pretty pink and soft rose. This is the cosmic, and that has got outer space, blue moon and starlight. The Carnival is your favourite at the moment. This will be the first one to go. It's over 70% gone. And that's got the Midnight Mauve, the Deep Iris and the Lapis Blue. The patina here is the Sun Glow, the Rich Copper and the Verdigris. And if you're going through all 4 collections, these are all the amazing colours that you are going to receive in there. I mean, they are absolutely stunning. $14.99 or $16.95 if you want to go for those further collections, which is brilliant. There's no questions or anything, Debbie, in the comments at the moment, which is a really good sign. So everyone's pretty much ready for the next step, I think.
Well, I've made a bit of a faux pas, Joe.
Oh no!
I know, because do you know when I said to you about creating apertures and popping your matting and layering over? I've just opened my card up and realised I've got a mat and a layer inside. Whoopsie. So I'm going to rectify that live now with you. So if you was doing this at home and you're watching this on a pre-tape, how can I warn you? I can't. So if you're probably watching this not live and catching up, you're going to realise I made a mistake. However, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're going to rectify it. I want a solid base. I want a nice solid colour on the inside of my card like this. This is when I should have already cut this down to size. So I'm going to show you how we can rectify it and how we can make it, well, a bit trickier than we would normally, but we'll get through it. Now, remembering our card base is 6 by 6. I always take a quarter of an increment off, so I'm going to go with a 5 3/4 inch square for this bit. Oops, I think that moved. Let me just make sure that's better. Hold it down with your finger guard. So let's move this to one side. So, and I keep dropping things. Hang on a minute, I've dropped my butterfly on the floor. Let me pick my butterflies up because we're going to use some extra embellishments in a minute. But I've got a really long, I call it me big, well, I'll tell you what I call this dress. I call it my fat dress. I know, Johnny, I know, it's just me big, do you know when you want something comfortable to wear, something that's not tight, not tied in, because normally I wear belts and things like that. So I call it my big fat dress because it's nice and airy. The problem with nice and airy dresses is they literally flap, and I've got a fan blowing on me, and I've knocked all my bits and bobs off under my counter underneath because the dress is that big. However, let's go back into this because I'm going to show you how you can rectify this slightly. So if I just pop that into place just for a second and hold that down. Grab yourself a pencil. See why you wouldn't do this at home. See why you would make sure. I'm just going to draw around that outline. Now, of course, I could do this with a craft knife. However, we're not. I'm just going to mark it off in certain areas, and that's just for me to line the die up. And so that I can get a fairly kind of accurate mark. So I did say I would show you sometimes how you can get out of little crafty mistakes. No such thing as a crafty mistake really in crafting, is there? So when I lift that off, I've got like a little pencil line of where I can actually put my outline die back again. Now, remembering which die it was, which it was my friends like you are far too few. So I need to get that die set back again. And again, Joe, have I put it back? Yes, I have. So remembering which die you've got on the inside, what we're going to do now is, because I've put my scope, because I've put those pencil lines in, I can kind of see where I need to hold this. So of course, if I had done this in the right way round, we'd have done it in the same method in which we did this panel, where we stuck the 2 panels together in order to do that and create that at the same time. I would have had them lined up and put them on there. So, are you nibbling?
Sorry?
Are you nibbling? Have you been out and grabbed something to nibble on?
I wouldn't do such a thing, Debbie. I mean,
You
let me
were
just pull
having a
myself
little
out
nibble,
back
aren't
from
you?
under that bust there. Hang on.
What you're nibbling on is what I want to know.
There's
Is there
some like
anything
fizzy
exciting
sweets out the back, aren't there?
There's some what is?
Little fizzy sweets out the back.
Oh, the last time I had one of them fizzy sweets, it was nearly death by fizzy swizzle because I nearly choked on it. I nearly choked on it.
I thought you had a problem with your swizzle.
They fizz in your mouth, don't they? And it was like literally death by fizzle swizzle. Because that's the last time I'm having one of those again. But they are very nice, Joe. Don't know whose they are. Have you been stealing them again?
Well, they're on
are
that
they free
table.
for all?
Soon as anything, we've got a big like communal table out the back, which is like
Actually,
an big old
remind me later,
fabric
because I
table.
have bought some. Don't tell Christine. Has she gone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I fetched some Mr. Kipling pies.
Oh.
Just for the team.
Exceedingly good cakes.
Exceedingly good cakes. Yeah,
What?
Mr.
Any
Kipling.
particular sort?
Apple and blackcurrant.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll
Nice.
share them with you later.
Oh, lovely. And there's a bit of chocolate cake on that table too, as well, out there.
Is there really?
There's some
Where's
fizzy
the chocolate
sweets.
cake come from?
I think Corinne and Michelle bought it for Georgina when they had their last show with her on Sunday, maybe.
Oh, I feel terrible now. I didn't bring a cake with me yesterday for Georgina's last show with me. That's right bad of me.
That's it. Your name
I
will be
gave her a
mud.
big hug, innit? I gave her a big hug and wished her bon voyage on her travels.
Did you?
That'll do.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that'll do.
It's her last day on Saturday.
It is, yeah. And then she's going off on her travels, the lucky devil. Lucky lady. Now look, I've managed to rectify my mistake, and that just shows you how you can get away with little scrapes like that. So that was just a little top tip there. It's almost like I did it on a purpose. However, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some acetate. This is when you can use your heavy construction acetate. The only thing I wouldn't use would be heat resistant acetate.
Okie doke.
I wouldn't use that. But yeah, any acetate will do. I'm having to make do with what's in the studio because I don't want to ask John again. I think I've been pestering John's life out. John, can I have this? John, can I have that? John, can I have this? It's running back and forth. So I'm going to make do with what I found in here.
Oh, it's Jake's birthday today.
Is it Jake's birthday?
Oh, I had no idea. Happy birthday, Jake. He's no doubt watching, so happy birthday, Jake.
Oh, of course, he'll be watching. He'll have got Mabel on his knee and he'll be watching us here. So happy birthday, Jake. It's actually Jay Haston's birthday from Bucks Fizz as well today.
Is it?
Yeah, so he's in good company there.
I wonder who else's birthday it is. Shall we find out?
Yeah, there'll be loads of famous birthdays.
It's Liam's birthday today.
Whose birthday?
Liam's birthday.
Why has Facebook not reminded me? Oh my God, I must have not looked properly.
Maybe he's blocked you.
Happy birthday. Excuse me.
Am I joking?
Liam, happy birthday, although he's probably recovering from HSN because he's on that HSN hangover as well because he was here till the ridiculous... What time was it this morning?
They were here till 5, were they?
5, 6. Oh, poor loves. Only won 5 a.m. in a day. Well, 5 in a day. Which is a PM one. Right, so we're going to take our acetate and we're going to cut this down to size. So it's going to be at the back of the aperture. So as long as it fits over, I'm going to do it at the 5.5, 5.5 mark. And that's just because the aperture itself isn't the same size as the card base. So I'll show you what I mean by that, Joe. So we're going to pop on... Oh, let me just move that other acetate out of it.
It would have been Audrey Hepburn's birthday today.
Oh, wow.
It would have been Keith Haring's birthday today as well, the artist. Keith Haring, a very famous artist. Oh. Who else we got? I don't know who he is.
I thought you meant Keith Harrison Oval.
No, Keith Haring.
Haring. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who any of the others are, Debbie, to be honest.
Right, we're going to add on to the back of the card, not the front, we're going to add to the back of the card. We're going to add our acetate. So I'm going to use our solid tape pen around here and I'm just going to go in all the nooks and crannies. You need to get your foam on a roll ready as well because we're going to add that to this as well. And I'm making sure I've got quite a nice bit there. I'll just pop a little strand. Yeah, we'll pop in to make sure his acetate doesn't move. There we go. And then we're going to pop the acetate over the top, like so. So it's creating our window.
It's Kate Garraway's birthday today, Debbie.
It's whose birthday?
Kate Garraway's.
Oh, I love Kate Garraway. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kate Garraway. I think she's a wonderful lady and I think she's brought so much... with her husband, because obviously he's one of the ones that are suffering with long COVID, isn't he? Yes. Kate Garraway. Not only is she a fabulous presenter, newsreader, whatever it is, I can't remember, not newsreader, news... Anchor? Good word, news anchor. But she's brought to the attention as well. She does a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about. And she's
done a lot of campaigning stuff,
fan,
hasn't she?
A big fan. And she's also taken over the Life Stories, one of my favourite programmes.
Has she?
It's like an autobiography kind of thing, but live on air in a programme.
I love
Piers
those.
Morgan did it, and I love them because you got to delve in. Well, Kate Garraway's taken over. She was the last one that Piers interviewed before she took over the role. Yeah. Just ask me those kind of trivial questions. kind of know those kind of things. Right, so before we start popping the jewels, the gems, the sequins, whatever it is that you're going to pop in, we're going to pop in now. Now we've got our acetate attached to the back, we're going to pop our sentiment into there as well. So it's sitting on the window, so to speak. So I'm just going to repeat again, literally with my fine tip applicator. You choose what glue method you want to use, Xyron, dotty tape pen, but I absolutely adore these Just Saying dies. I love the sentiment behind them. I think they're very inspirational, meaningful sentiments. And I know that they've proved to be very popular since Michelle launched them. They're fabulous, they are. Have we got many people commenting, Joe? Has everybody woke up from the
There
age
are
of 10
absolutely
now?
no questions in the comments whatsoever, Debbie.
Well, I'm hoping then we've got an influx of pictures coming in later on Creative
I do
Cravings
hope
where
so.
people
Yeah,
have
you'll be
been
able to send your
crafting
pictures
along.
in the. You'll be able to send your pictures in the break, and you can send them to studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. So studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk.
Right, so I'm just going to wipe that glue off because I've got a bit of glue just on the back there and I don't want that to go on. So I'm just going to pop it onto the top, sit that in, get it into place, into situ. Before I'm just making sure that it's in line. I think that's okay. I'm actually just going to bring in, though, a spare piece of cardstock. It's quite tricky when you've got acetate, not to get glue gubbins. Is that the right word? So I'm just popping... Well, I heckled by a truck again.
You just got honked at, yeah.
I'm always getting heckled by them trucks on the back. I'm just popping a little piece of sheet on the back. It's just to pick up any excess glue and it doesn't smear all over me acetate.
That's a great tip, Debbie.
Yeah, it's just again to make it nice and neat. But I am going to just put my frame on there as well. And I quite like the idea of a drop shadow. Yeah, we'll have a drop shadow. Yeah, that's going to make that pop a little bit. You can see that, can't you? Yeah, should we go there? Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. So let's go in now with our... Oh, I'll use my wet glue for this one. So it gives me the wiggle time to get it into place. This is why I put a choice of glues on the shopping list. Choice of glue, red liner tapes, finger lift tapes, tape pens, wet glue, tacky glue.
Stuff most people got to hand in their craft space, isn't it?
They are, yeah. And I think all glues, if you've ever watched our glue school, you'll understand why we have such a different, wide range of glues, because they all do different jobs. And I don't ever stick to one glue. I use a variety of glues, as do all the other craft demonstrators as well. There's a reason behind that, because they all do a different job. So I quite like that idea of just leaving a little fraction to the side to create a little bit of a drop shadow effect, which looks quite effective. Now then, we did have right back at the beginning, we had our 6x6 base. Now, this is just to cover over, and it makes it a nice, neat back piece. And it literally...
She nearly said backside.
I nearly did, yeah. And I just thought that doesn't sound right. And I don't want to offend anybody, but the backside of the card is what I was going to say. But then I realised what it sounded like, and I thought, no.
I mean, you've said a lot worse today, in fact.
I probably have, actually, yes. To be fair, I probably have. But
don't ever change, Debbie. We love your, we love your slip-up.
Couldn't if I tried. But I want it to be a nice, neat finish. So in order to do that, that's why I've put a full 6x6, so it's going to sit firmly on the back. If you don't want a full base, you can just trim 1/4 inch off and it'll just come in a fraction. It'll still look neat. I suppose it depends, again, that personal choice.
So you go for a fuller backside or a sort of
fuller
more slender backside?
rather than a trimmed one.
Yeah, fabulous.
Right, so we are going to now add some sequins, and we're going to add some foam on a roll, and then we're going to start putting all of this together. Now, do you like to double up with your foam?
On the back side?
On the back side, yes. Do you like, because I do. That doesn't sound right either, Joe. Where are we going with this? Come on, keep it clean.
Save me, Debbie.
Keep it clean. Dear
Is it foam on a roll?
It is foam on a roll. Do you know it's how... Oh, no, Ben's not here. We can get away with it. We can get away with it. We don't have to sing it. Although I can hear thousands of people now
Is this the new one, Debbie?
Is this the new one? It is.
The new one. So would you just go one layer with this?
Would I just go one?
Will you go one layer or will you double up? You're going to double it up?
I'm going to double up because I want my sequins to move around freely. Look, I've snapped it off there. Bit of a heavy-handed there I was.
Foam on a rolls on the show.
Just make sure you've got no gaps around your foam on a roll. If you want to go around your... to just keep them in there, I was just trying to think of the word I'm looking for.
I don't know why I've really got the giggles all of a sudden.
If you've got the
Yeah.
giggles going. Well, do you know when you want to stop your sequins from moving around right into these corners?
Yeah.
You can like position foam
Right.
to stop them from moving around. Oh God, hang on a minute. Should use scissors, Debbie, not that. But that'll stop it from moving around. Of course, I could have gone all the way around that just saying die to stop it from moving around. But I'm just going to go in because I quite like the idea of a little bit up. See, on words today, I don't know what's wrong with me. But I'm going to double up. So I'm going to take all the backing off. Yep, the backing, that's the word. The backing off the back of the foams. Wait
It's
a minute.
easy release, this one, isn't it?
It is. It's a nice, easy pull-away one. It's really lovely, this. And 10 metres, did we say, Joe?
10 metres.
10
Yeah,
metres.
details
That's
there on your
a
screen.
lot. That is a lot.
49 pence a metre if you're in the UK. There you are. That's great, isn't it? £4.99, £6.95 if you want to get that.
Absolutely. And again, I'm just going to do that on the inside of there as well, because I am going to double up on the inside panel too. And that's just to make it, when you stick your back panel onto the back, no, wait a minute, when you stick the back panel onto the top, it's to make sure, can I just tell you, it's very sticky foam and roll. It's probably one of the stickiest ones we've ever done. But I'm going to double up. So we're going to go back in, and because I've got 10 metres, look how much is on this one. Absolutely tons of the stuff. So I'm just going to double up. You could triple up if you wanted to. You can keep the, you can keep it going all in one go, so you can go straight around because it's bendable. Is that the right word?
Malleable.
What?
Malleable.
Is that a real
Pliable.
word?
Malleable.
I've not heard that one before.
Means you can
It means you
manipulate
can-
it into any kind of shape that you want it.
It means it's bendy.
It's dead bender.
Dead bendy. Yeah. Dead bendy. That's what it means.
Oh, I love you, Debbie.
And again, I'm just going to make sure. Do you know if you haven't got foam on a roll, you could use foam pads.
Yeah.
You could just strips of them and put them side by side, but you don't want your bits to fall out, so make sure there's no gaps. So just line them up side by side.
Hunky Dory do the strips as well we've got on the website, don't they? You can sort of trim those down.
They do what?
Strips of foam pads.
Do
They're
they?
just like big long strips and you just trim them to the size you want them.
Why have I not seen those before?
Yeah, we've had them on the shows before, but they're very rarely in stock. We have had them in when Anne-Marie's paid us a visit.
I hope she's coming in soon when I'm here, because every time Uncle Dory have been here, I haven't been here. And I really would love to see her. I've not seen her for such a long time. It'd be lovely to see her again. It would. I love Uncle Dory products though. My goodness me. Right,
That's
so,
where you started, wasn't it?
yeah,
the first thing you
pretty
ever made?
much from the, yeah, because me auntie, because Uncle Dory had been running for a fair few years, but I you know, crafting, paper craft is where I started. You know, like paper kits. That's where I kind of started. But yeah, my Auntie Jean was the one that got me a Hunky Dory kit and a Kanban kit. After I'd done a spot of crafting with her. And the rest, we say, is history. Because it got me into this wonderful world of craft. Right, so, choice is yours. I've personally chosen, and again, I've gone with sequins for this, but we do have those fabulous jewel dies on the show. So you could actually die cut lots of your own jewels in there. And we have some lovely designs in there. We've got love hearts. I think we've got stars.
Hearts, stars and circles, Debbie.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. So yeah, but I personally have chosen sparkly sequins. I love a good sparkle. But Joe's got the ones here that you can actually use yourself, and people are loving these. And I'm
Lots of
not
people going for
surprised.
these.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The reason being is that you can, if you want, cut them out in any kind of cardstock. Any kind of cardstock, whether it be a glitter cardstock, a mirror cardstock. You can create your own jewels of various different sizes, which is what I love about them. They're not just one set of one size. There's different gradients of size, which again makes for a very appealing shaker card. But I'm personally, this is my shopping list, I'm going in with my sequins, which actually came out with the shaped easel cards, the latest ones, the new colours. Yeah, and this one is the colour that I've chosen, if I remember
Shakers,
rightly,
I think it was, wasn't
is
it?
Blue Lagoon. I'm going to chuck loads in as well, Joe, because you get a lot, 50 grams. And because I've doubled up with my foam on a roll, sorry, I can put quite a lot in. So I'm going to have quite a nice bit in
We've
there.
got those sequins on the show as well, I do believe, in the Shop the Show category, or the Shop the Day category, you'll be able to find them. There's several different colour options, I think, for you on these.
And now I've chucked a ton in there, and I've still got a bag full left. There's a lot of sequins in here, Joe, a lot.
I do
and some
love a
beautiful
sequin,
colours
Debbie.
on there as well. Now, for me to get the back of my back piece onto the card, I am going to put on and make a little bit of an easier ride for myself.
Oh, this is a good tip, Debbie.
You what, love?
It's a good tip, this.
Yeah, I always put a little bit of wet glue over the top of my foam. Careful not to go as heavy-handed as I'm going, because I've just seen some seepage. But it gives me a bit of wiggle time to get this panel into place and line it up, because what I want to do is create, I'm just going to go in a little bit. I hope I haven't got any roots in my hair there. Let's go in. I can always trim it down if I've gone a little bit bigger, but it gives me a bit of wiggle time to get that into place. And just make sure you've got a good connection with the foam and your cardstock to stop any of the sequins. Have I got a sequin up top? I just had it. I'm sure I had a sequin. Oh, I have. I'm thinking, what on earth? I've got
Oh, there you are.
They're stuck everywhere. It's like the flakes. They get everywhere, they do. Red liner tape back in, that gets everywhere as well. But yeah, so make sure you've got a good connection, Joe, because you want to make sure, and I've got those side panels as well, but let me turn that over. There you go. Looks absolutely fabulous. And because I've doubled up, I've given myself a bit of extra room for my shakers to move around. Sometimes the foam on a roll, the nature of foam on a roll is, it depends on the thickness. And this is fairly thick, actually, to be fair, this 10 metre one. It's quite a nice thickness. But if you want to put a lot of sequins in, make sure you double or triple up, because you get more movement within the shaker, and it makes such a difference. Now, that's our panel of our card. And then we're going to stick on the front. So I'm going to open that up, and we're going to stick on the front now. That's going to stick onto the front panel, like so. So you can see, now we're starting to build this up. And literally, we're going to pop this in. Now, for me, I'm just going to fold this over. Again, it's just that visual. And I'll pop all the panels in. Now, I am going to use red liner tape for this. Okay. This is going to go on the back. So, popping that down like so. Let me find my red liner tape. I'm going to put a bit of red liner tape on. And you can go around the...
Debbie,
flakes.
what are you like?
They get everywhere, they do. This is my gilding. Actually, to be fair, this is the tape that I've been using with my gilding flakes, so that's why there's gilding flakes on there. But rather than grab my other bit out, I'm just going to put some red liner tape just onto the back. Make sure you've got a nice connection with that as well. Again, make life easy for yourself. You can pop some red wiggle glue, all-purpose glue, onto the back as well. It gives you that wiggle time again, because we all know that red liner tape is a super strong
It is very
adhesive.
sticky, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredibly strong adhesive. It's perfect for things like your construction, but I'm just going to make sure I've got it the right way around before I stick that in. Yep. Let's put those flaps back down. There we go. So I'm going to pop on, make sure everything's in the right order. I'm going to pop that over the back of my tape. I'm actually going to go a little bit over the edges as well. And then I'm just going to pop that in. And because I've got it all folded in, I can see and position it, and it gives you a little bit of a frame. Because I didn't use 12 by 12, I've got this lovely frame going off. And I like that. I think it gives it a lovely bit of dimension, a bit of framing. And position it, because you've got the wiggle glue, I'm doing it again, because you've got the all-purpose glue.
I think we should call it wiggle glue.
Wiggle glue.
I like it. Chunky glue, wiggle glue, tacky glue. Wiggle glue's a good one,
I can't
Debbie.
help myself, Joe, I can't help myself. I'm just going to open that
I
up.
thought it was runny glue we were calling it now.
Runny glue, wet glue, wiggle glue, all-purpose glue.
Love it.
The best glue in the world, as our lovely Leanne would say. If you ever listen to Leanne, she will tell you it is one of the best glues in the world. And it's absolutely fabulous. So again, there you go. That's come together quite nicely now. But we want to add a little bit of decoration. So on the inside of my card, I want to add a little bit of decoration onto there. Although it looks really quite nice. So I thought, do you know the lovely pieces that we had left over? We could use those. Okay. So we could... Oh. Yeah, we'll use a couple of little thin strips off there. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll cut a couple of little, I think ½ inch, I think I might go in with this. So just going to use that. Let's just move that to one side. This is me just doing a little bit of decoration now. So for me to use this, obviously it comes up to the 1 inch mark to start with, but you've got these grids. I'm going to go with that, I'm going to go to that end line there, which is roughly around 1/2 inch. And I'm going to pop that down. And because I know the inside panel is 5 3/4, I'm going to go to 5 1/2. I'll do that again. Again, this is just a personal choice. I'm going to go back into that end of that grid line, and we're going to pop that to about 5 1/2. Let's see what that looks like. So let's keep hold of those for a second and pop a couple of pieces, and it just frames it a little bit. Again, it's all about decoration. It's just bringing it all in line with each other. So again, I'm going to use our all-purpose glue. Look at me, I'm saying we're going to fit loads of other demonstrations in this. I told producer Johnny, I went, oh yeah, we'll get this done in 2 hours. Got plenty of time, be able to do some gilding, flake, demonstrate. I told him all sorts. What a big fibber I am. It's 3:40 in the afternoon. I hadn't realised it took this long to do this.
Yeah, you've
Sometimes
got
I time
you've
myself
got all
at
you
home, you
need,
know.
Debbie.
You what, love?
You can take all the time you like.
Well, that's the lovely thing about our award-winning
Debbie
craft
Robinson,
along
she's
show.
crafting well. She can do what she wants.
There you go. And doesn't that look, just frames it a little bit, and I think it looks quite nice. We are going to add some other little embellishments to it as well. And we are going to do a little bit of decoration on the inside of the card as well. This is optional. This is entirely up to you. But what we need to bring it all together to hold it into place when it's stood is my personal favourite, belly bands. I love a little belly band. And you can create it. I've created using one of my favourite flower dies that we launched, I think with the mini machine, or was it the, no, it was the Gemini Go machine actually, when we launched these. This is something I just carry in my stash, but you can decorate it with whatever you want. But to create it using A4 card, I've actually put 2 strips together. And this belly band itself measures in at 14 inches by 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to go into about 7.5 inch strips. So bring back in some of your pieces of cardstock. And we did have some strips left over, Joe, from our A4 cardstock from
fabulous.
earlier. So I'm going to go in at 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut 2 of these, and I'll join them in the middle. So 2 1.5 inch strips, and I'm going to cut these down to about, let's do 7.5. So let's open up my leg again, pop my base down. Let's cut 2 of those panels together. Let's put that, so we'll cut that down to about 7.5 inches. 7.5 inches. I'm going to join those together. I'll come back to that guillotine in a moment. I'm just going to put some red liner tape down the centre because it's construction again, and it's a belly band that's fitting around the whole of the card. I want to strengthen it, and because I don't want this belly band bursting at the seams, so we're going to put on some red liner tape. I've gone with the thickest one there, and I'm going to just join those up. Just to snip that off at the end, like so.
You want a taste of your coffee that John made?
I haven't had
I
any
think
yet.
it's the best cup of coffee I've had in a
Is
very
it
long
really?
time, Debbie.
I've
Honestly,
got
have a
mine
swig.
here,
Tell me
look,
what you
mine's
think.
Here. I have mine black.
I don't know whether he's used like a posh fancy coffee or something, but oof. That is I think he's treated us to a secret posh coffee.
I wonder where he's got that from.
I think they've got like a special machine somewhere.
They've got their own machine in the back. What's this?
Tell everyone.
What's this? Are we
No
not allowed
one's
to
meant
know?
to know. It's on a need-to-know basis.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
Where have they got that from?
I know.
Right, so I've connected the 2 pieces together, and then I'm going to pop, to cover this little bit up, I'm going to use some of the, do you know the spare bits of blue card that we've had? We're going to have a little bit of a pattern running through the centre as well. So I'm just using this to decorate now. Of course, you can pop this however you want, but because we knew it was 1.5 to start with, we're going to go down again to 1 1/4. Yep, 1 1/4. I'm going to bring 2 pieces together again. While I've got my guillotine, I'm going to use this spare piece of cardstock as well. Well, I say cardstock, the patterned paper, but I'm going to bring this down to 1 inch. Now, depending on what pattern you've used, or whatever style of size of patterned paper you've used, because I haven't got any of the solids, the patterned left, I'm going to just I'm going to sandwich it together because it's quite an heavy pattern. I can get away with sandwiching pieces together. And I tend to do this a lot as well when I want my cardstock to go a long way. I'll do this at home. So we're going to pop on the panel like so into the centre, and let's just pop on with some wet glue. I can see, oh lovely, John is busying away.
He is,
getting
isn't he?
ready for
Beavering
tomorrow's
away out there.
shows.
He's a busy, busy bee today.
He is.
Pam E says the wiggle glue is my most used glue. I don't think Pam E was here when I asked her the question earlier. So I'm going to ask her again. Have you been watching the Great American Song Contest, Pam E? Because she was keeping me up to date at the start.
Is she keeping
so
you up
are
to
you
date?
still keeping abreast of the song contest, Pam? Do let me know.
What if I've used right sheet?
We're not able to watch it. I did try.
You what, love?
We're not able to watch it. I did have a go.
You did have a go at trying to watch it?
Tried, yeah, not happening.
I think I used my wrong panels there. I think that was a spare bit that I've just randomly picked up because it wasn't the same size as these two. And I know I cut these to size. Yes, I wasn't using the right one. Never mind. I've managed to sort that out. And that's the beauty of having the wiggle glue or the all-purpose glue, because I can wiggle and wiggle it into shape.
Wiggle,
and take
wiggle,
it back
wiggle.
off before it sets. So now I'm getting this lovely straight little edge, and then we're going to go in with the pattern. So we're going to go in with the pattern as well, and I am going to do a bit of paper piecing. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come in a little bit there, like so, because at the end I'm going to have, I'm going to use hook and loop, but you can use your magnets. If you're using your magnets, you pop them underneath your cardstock.
Put what,
because
sorry?
your magnets, you know the magnets we
yeah.
have. I don't know if there's any online. Again, just check.
We did have them. We'll have a look.
Yeah, you can go and check to see if we've got any online. But again, it's you know, that's what you would do to hide your magnets. Pop them underneath your papers and your card to hide them, but they'll still work.
Are they quite
absolutely
thin
fabulously.
than those magnets, Debbie?
They're quite what? Sorry?
They're quite thin, those
They
magnets.
are, yeah. They're perfect for this kind of style of you know, enclosures. Is that the right word? Are they out of stock?
They are out of stock at the moment.
Johnny keeps disappointing me today. Every time I've asked him, it's out of stock, it's out of stock, it's out of stock. They are, aren't they? Yeah.
Rhonda's been watching the Great American Song Contest. She said Snoop is super funny. And Pammy says, yes, I am, Joe. Puerto Rico Loco was my pick, but they've not made it to the finals. There's nothing worse, is there, than when your favourite goes out before the final.
Yeah, nothing worse. Right, I'm going to use that as my belly band, but I'm going to let that dry for a bit because it's wet glue. I need to let it dry a little bit. So we'll come back in. We've got a little bit of time to do a little bit of decoration. So I'm going to move all my pieces out of the way. Now I've chosen butterflies. We have got some fabulous little accessories. Mini dies being one of my favourites that we've done with the sentiments in there, and the butterfly, which I promise is one of my most used dies. As you may have known, because I love a good butterfly, and I think these, again, is a personal choice, but we're going to do a little bit of die cutting with them as well. And I've got lots of spare pieces of cardstock. I've got my blue cardstock. We'll have a couple in the blue, so I'm going to bring in my mini. Oh, we've got the midi on the show as well, haven't we? Now, have we got a mini plate? That's the next question. Let me have a little look around here. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no. There's never any little mini plates when you want one.
What are you after, Debbie?
A little mini plate.
Oh, I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
Might be some. I'll have a little peek.
Don't forget as well, another great show coming your way a little later this evening. Just over 2 hours to go, in fact, where myself and Debbie, Creative Cravings, will be here. That one point of the week where maybe take it a little bit more back to basics. It's a great starting point if you are a beginner crafter, but something for everyone to learn. There's going to be a great hero tool on that show as well, so make sure you join us both for that. I no doubt think the Gilding flakes will be there. The embossing folders, the collection, the big collection sold out yesterday. We've only gone and got them some back in stock. We don't have many though. You will need to be quick for them if you want them. They were gorgeous, those embossing folders, Debbie, weren't they?
Yes, yes. I found my own mini plate. I found a midi plate, but no midi machine.
Oh, I had the midi machine here, that's why.
It's okay. It's exactly the same. It's the manual, but at a 6x9 platform. This is the smallest of them, but I mean, it's a great. Is it a great deal? We've got it on it as well.
Is it a what, sorry?
A great deal on the midi.
Yeah, 10% off today.
That's okay. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm quite digging that.
Digging it?
Digging
Groovy,
it.
baby.
Dig it. Oh, I've been watching a bit. I've never really watched the Austin Powers.
Have you not? Oh, I loved them when I was growing up.
They've been doing them on the TV, and they've been doing them, not back to back, but I think it was every night, the other night.
It's a great fancy dress, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a
I
really
like
good
Mike
fancy
Myers,
dress.
but I'm not really sure it's my kind of thing, because I did try to watch it, but I found it a little bit...
I bet it looks quite old now.
You what, look?
I bet it looks quite old now.
What, he looks quite old.
The film, I'd imagine, looks quite old now.
Oh, right, okay.
Because it's quite a while ago. It must be
Is it?
over 20 years ago now. Since
Really?
The first Austin Powers must have been... I was probably 10 when it came out, so 25 years ago.
No. My goodness me, that's crazy.
I would say it was probably I'm going to go in 1999 it came out.
No way.
97, even earlier. So that's 25 years, though. It's pretty much bang on.
Oh my, was that before or after Shrek then?
Charlotte was 3 in 97.
Oh God, I feel old. I think I'd had 3 kids by then. That's terrifying. Charlotte. No.
No!
Just no.
Johnny was
Just no.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I was 10.
Oh God. Am I the oldest person in this building? Well, as in this side. I think I might be actually. Oh, yeah, I could well be. Oh.
Age is just a number.
It
time,
is.
time is a social construct, Debbie.
Exactly, yes. 2 butterflies, that's going to go on the inside panel. I think I might have some white butterflies. I chose the green ones earlier, but I think I might quite like a little white one to pop a little bit. So I'm going to go in with my white ones. But this is this bit is literally your personal choice. What do you want to decorate yours with? I am obviously choosing little teeny weeny butterflies because I love my butterflies. But I suppose it depends really, your personal preference. Let me see if I can
And I
actually...
guess most people have got lots and lots of embellishing dies in their stash that would
Yep.
be perfect for this kind of size, this kind of project.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I'm dropping things again. That was just my quick way of cleaning my die. I realised, sorry.
Love you chucked it on the side and went, oh, sorry, I dropped it. I'm like, you didn't drop it. This is what Debbie did, really. She goes, oh, dropped it.
Do you know what? That I do it at home.
Dropped
I just
it.
drop my die onto my glass mat and it tends to release things really quickly. Do you know, because we
I
always
think
kind of
like
rush in.
dropped it means, most people think dropped it, dropped it by accident. But it's like, oh, dropped it.
Debbie Fisher does exactly the same.
She does.
So not on my
She does
own.
indeed. No.
I just sometimes must, and I want to speed the process of cleaning my dies up and getting my die cleaning brush with my sponge. Sometimes a little bit laborious, shall we say?
Oh.
Time
You
consuming.
Debbie. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yep, absolutely. That's what it's all about. Make crafting as easy. I'm going to do it again. As easy or as hard for yourself. Only because I've seen the time, Joe, me being right clever. Oh, we're going to get it all done, all of it, all the decoration. Oh, and I'll have loads of time to spend loads of things on other things as well. Hey-ho.
Such is life, Debbie. Such is life.
is life,
Quite
yeah.
a lot of our viewers are watching the American Song Contest, it turns out, Debbie.
Absolutely.
Mary Pat says, I'm watching the show too. Of course, I wanted Montana to win. Pammy says, now that Puerto Rico is out, she also goes on to say, my top 2 now are Kentucky and Colorado. She says, you can at least listen to the songs, even though you can't watch the show. So we'll have to have a listen, Debbie.
I need to find out how we can watch this, Joe.
I wonder if now that our American friends that have been watching the American Song Contest will watch the Eurovision when it happens in May.
They will do, won't they?
Yeah,
'Cause
well, I hope so. It's
yeah.
on, I think it's on Peacock in the States.
How do you know these things?
Oh, Debbie, there is nothing I don't know about Eurovision.
I was going to say, I'm like, how do you randomly just know these things, Joe?
Because I just belong to a lot of random. Do you want a good Eurovision fact
Go on
for
then.
this year?
Go then.
It's the 50 whatever of year it is of Eurovision. It is the first year there has been no songs in French in the competition, or no French language used in any of the songs in the whole competition.
Don't France have their own?
France are singing in Breton this year, which is a
Breton?
It's a French dialect, so it's not actually French. And normally there's a bit of a voulez-vous in one of the songs, or a je t'adore or something, but there's nothing this year. So there is no French language in the competition at all for the first time ever.
Wow.
There you go. I know. You're glad. What a time to be alive.
I just don't know how you do. I don't know how you know all these things. I wish I could process information and keep it in the head. I'd be very clever if
There's
I
a
did.
lot of stuff I'd like to keep in my head that I can't, though, Debbie. I can't. can't remember to take the washing out of the machine and hang it, so I end up washing it 3 times in a row, 3 consecutive days. Honestly, most of my washing gets done
last night.
Sorry?
Did you remember to take the bin out
I
last
did
night?
put them out this morning. Forgot to do it last night, but got them out in time this morning. I'm telling you, my clothes, when I wash them, get on average washed 2 to 3 times, I think, because I forget them and then I have to wash them again the next day. I'm terrible. It's because the washing machine's in the cupboard. I can't see it, you see. And if I can't see it, that's it. It's in the cupboard. It's in the cupboard in the hall, so I can't see it.
What? Oh dear. Oh, do you know what? I think I might have.
It is going to be on Peacock. There you are, American friends.
Oh, we see. Right, I'm just going to put my butterfly. What was that?
5 minutes.
Uh-oh. Right. Stop talking, Debbie. More crafted. I'm just going to put 1 in there. I put 2 in my original. Actually, no. I think I'll do me 2. So, again, this is a personal thing. You don't have to put butterflies in here, of course. You can put whatever you want in here. I'm just going to add a few little gems. Let's go in with me little crystal dewdrops. Love these. Not crystal dewdrops, clear dewdrops. So I'm going to go in with those. And I'm just going to put a couple on. This is just, again, a little bit of titivation. I talk about titivation a lot because it's just a nice little finishing touch to it. I'm going to put some on the inside. So because I've not cut in, well, on my original one, I've actually cut out quite a few. But because we're not running out of time, but because we're getting a little bit...
I think you've made best use of the time, Debbie. Is the best way to look at it. You know, you've maximised your time.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And again, this part is something that you can personally do yourself. And again, you could add flowers in here. This is at the end of the day, it's your craft along. It's your project. I'm just showing you a different design that you can do and create using your dies. Of course, this style of crafting and this style of card making, you can take into any of your other collections and things like that as well. So it's just giving you a little bit of something a little bit different. And it's like we said, we can take us time with these projects. We can bring, these projects into line. And I'll pop some more on in a moment. But I'm just going to show you how, again, belly band. This is how I do all my belly bands. I don't start measuring, putting score lines in. I simply take the largest piece, and to give it that best bit, I just fold it in on itself. I'm not going to lie, how
really?
I do my belly bands.
Don't score it or anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to use now, lovely John, he went out and fetched me. Here we go. I wonder if these are online, producer Johnny. Our hook and loops, which are the perfect to hold a belly band into place. So let's pop that back round there like so. And I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to add a little feature on the back as well. I might add a little butterfly to the back. But I'm just going to pop it into place because they're self-adhesive. So I'm going to go in and take off the first layer. They're already put together. They're in stock. Yay! First time he's told me today something's in stock. Yay, I love it. Love it. So I'm just going to peel off the back of the one panel, stick it onto this side, give it a good push down, take off the other backing. And this is the best way you can line up a hook and loop. Hook and loop. So let's pop that off. And again, I'm just going to position that, fold it in. I don't want it too tight, so I'm just going to make sure, there we go, that I've got a bit of movement. And it does mean then it sits nicely together so that when you give it to your recipient, and I'll just pop a butterfly on the front of mine. On my original one, which I'll show you in a second, we did flowers. Oh, God. I am losing, honestly. I think the English vocabulary is just disappearing from my...
Do you know what you need?
What's that?
A glass of an orange twirl.
Oh, I've got one. I've already got one out of there. I literally got myself out. Again, I pounced on the vending machine man. I need more. Oh, yeah. More orange twirls. So tell our
He's going to bring the Cherry Pepsi Max back next week, isn't he?
Cherry Pepsi Max is giving us lots of lovely things as well that I've asked for. I hope everyone's happy with the choices that I've given them, because you see how much 7-Up you put in there.
If you're not happy with the choice in the vending machine, blame Debbie. That's what we say.
Yes, that's it. Blame me. Right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to decorate and carry on decorating. But what you should have now... should have now is your lovely little, and I'm just going to take that off, belly bands, but you should have, oh, have I got it upside down? Yes, I have. You should have your lovely project. I'll finish the rest of the embellishments off later, but with your shaker element in there, using those gorgeous Just Saying dies. I hope you've enjoyed this craft along. Whew. Just got it in. 30 seconds to spare, Joe. I think I did just perfectly there. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's given you a little idea, a different idea on how to use these dies.
Yeah, it really has been fabulous. Well, you can watch this back at any time you like, which is always wonderful. Don't go anywhere. Well, you can go, just don't go too far. Me and Debbie will be back in 2 hours' time with an amazing Creative Craving show with absolutely loads of awesome products on it too. Send those pictures in the break as well. Myself and Debbie would love to see them and show some of those in that later show. We'll see you back here in 2 hours. Bye.